being asked what you're doing for the Stage 5 food technology syllabus that dropped in 2025, you're not alone. And judging by the emails we've had asking about this, I think this is a conversation that's happening in a lot of schools. So I wrote a scope and sequence that I think will make this new syllabus a lot clearer for most people. Firstly, in the old syllabus, we had 8 focus areas. And some of those we'd grown quite attached to. So food trends, for example, food for specific needs. We had food for special occasions, food in Australia. There were 8 different content areas. And that was lovely because we taught food technology for 8 terms. So you could easily teach 4 in Year 9 and 4 in Year 10. The 2025 syllabus only has 5 focus areas: food design and preparation practices, Australian food practices and cuisine, food selection for nutrition and health, food industry processing and operations, food security and sustainability. Now, this is going to be difficult because we have 8 terms. Now, we have 5 content areas and 8 terms. So in one of the documents that I was looking over, which I believe was the support document, it stated that we were going to be sprinkling food design and preparation practices through the other 4 content areas, and things started to then come together. I understand now that food design and preparation is like the base, and all the other focus areas will have a sprinkling of food design and preparation through them. Now, those 4 content areas that we need to teach will not be unfamiliar to you because they have been based on what was in the 2019 syllabus. However, the sprinkling of food design and preparation practices will be different. Okay, so what I did was I went through and I just gave each of the specific dot points a letter. So A, B, C, D, whatever. And then I went through and I found where they best fit in the other 4 focus areas. And some were easier than others to place. For example, if it said something about sustainability in it, it obviously went in food security and sustainability. Some of them were going across all 4 content areas because there was something to do with safety and hygiene or something like applying management practices to projects. So once I had a really comfortable feeling about where each of them went, I was able to then write the scope and sequence. So the scope and sequence, how I decided what would be Year 9 and what would be Year 10 was quite strategic. So I really thought Australian food and cuisine is something so dynamic that we can do so much fun stuff with, and it's quite relatable to our students. So I thought, let's start Year 9 with it, fresh start, get them excited about food technology and keep them in our subject. It is going to go across 2 terms, okay? Because remember, we've got 4 content areas now and 8 terms. So Australian food practices and cuisine will go in terms 1 and 2 of Year 9. For terms 3 and 4 of Year 9, we thought let's tackle food security and sustainability because don't forget, in Year 8, they've done sustainability, so it'll be fresher in their mind. Now for terms 1 and 2 in Year 10, it seemed like a really good plan to put in there food industry processing and operations for 2 different reasons. One, it's closer to Year 11 and 12 where they'll be covering food manufacture, food product development, but also because the cognitive demand in this focus area seemed a little higher, so it made sense to actually put it in Year 10. Finally, for term 3 and term 4 of Year 10, we looked at food selection for nutrition and health. And again, this was strategic. A lot of our students pick food technology because they are interested in nutrition and nourishing their bodies. And let's be honest, a lot of the time, term 3 is when students start making their subject selections for Year 11 and 12. So we wanted to make sure it was a dynamic area where we could really let them sink their teeth into what food technology is all about. So that's why we thought that would be fantastic for terms 3 and 4. In this scope and sequence, there's a unit overview for each of the 4 content areas, and you'll also be able to see where we've put the food design and preparation as well. We're selling it for $5 on our website, and for me, that is a steal because it took a long time to organize where we wanted to put all the syllabus dot points. However, when you enroll for the Year 9 course, which we'll be running at the end of 2026, you'll be getting an updated version of this scope and sequence because obviously as we do planning, more will go into the scope and sequence document. It will give you something to give to your head teacher so that they can see what planning is occurring for the Stage 5 syllabus. And we are planning to have the course ready to run at the end of 2026. 6 for year 9 and at the end of 2027 for year 10, so that everything will be all lovely and finished and ready for 2028 implementation. If you would like a link to purchase this scope and sequence for $5, you just need to comment plan and we will send you the link. Okay, I love you guys so much. I hope you're all happy and well, and I hope to see you real soon.